Why? An investor owner is an absent owner, which means it has a potential destructive impact on the running of your body corporate. If your body corporate is not running properly, it has the result that your trustees are not effectively running the scheme. Why? Because Zandile lives in London, and you live in Kukenap or Pofare, and you invest wisely in Gauteng. You will not, if you own 20 properties, have the time or the inclination to attend 20 body corporate meetings per annum. You will be an absent body corporate member, which has an impact on the running of the body corporate, which determines how much levy you will pay, whether maintenance is done properly. Have you ever thought of it this way? So, as a rule, we look at the developer and we ask the developer, how many units are you going to keep in this development? If he says nothing, Sandra, then we're not interested really in that development. Why? A developer who is prepared to put his money where his mouth is and retain ownership, part ownership in his development, is somebody who has a continued link with that development. If he makes a mess of it, it has a dramatic impact on his own wealth. And it means he believes in his development because he's retaining ownership in part of it. Let's take this one step further. If this is a building where it's a green development, where it's not old-fashioned geezers which use lots and lots of energy, then, Peter, of course, your net yield is going to be slightly better. Because your consumption of electricity and energy is less. Let me give you another example. Let's say it's a development where the body corporate is not being managed effectively. And there are problems with lifts and maintenance and paint peeling. How many of your tenants are going to get tired of this and leave? You can see this is snowball effect. So the reality is this. Lots of considerations. But if you look at that number, then in the price range 3,000 to 7,000 in the Gauteng areas of Durban, in that area sectional title, your net yield for all these reasons will beat anything else compared to a 10 out of 10 times. Okay. I know it's a lot that you have to take into account, but Peter, what you literally can do is you can go and make a list of all these things. And you can give a weight to each and every one. Because if your purchase price is 650 in this development and 650 in that development, and you can get 6,000 rental for both, but the levy in property A is 1,000 rand, and the levy in property B is 800 rand, then again the same argument applies. 10 out of 10 times I buy B because my net yield is 200 rand better than the one in A. Easy, isn't it? What are we saying? Just do your homework. Each and every P3 member here is supposed to have the property wealth management system. Use it, play with it. I always say if you can't break it, but if you actually succeed in breaking it, I'll replace it. Just your name for the purposes of the other people. Sorry, just say that again. Edgar, yes. That everybody has Edgar.
Some have said a lower levy is not necessarily a good indication because they might raise a special levy because it's not enough to cover all the expenses. So what would you say we need to consider when looking at the levy? Because the lower it is, less money to maintain the property, and in 2 years they will say we need a special levy.
Yeah. Thanks, Edgar. Edgar makes a valid point. He says he's heard the opinion that you should be aware or concerned if a levy is noticeably low. Because if it's inadequate, you might be faced 5 years down the line with a special levy because of the shortfall. Two answers to that. The first thing is, if you buy in an existing development, you do not sign until you have had access to the latest audited statements of the body corporate. Whom of you have ever done that? 2% of the people here. I am astounded that you will actually buy into a business and you do not know what the financial affairs of this business is like. Explain that to me. If you look, Edgar, at the number one, if there are no audited statements for the body corporate since 2014, then you should already know somebody is not doing their work. And it should make you immediately cautious. If you have a look at the latest financial statements, duly audited, because remember, your bank who grants you the bond will actually want to see those statements. They will not proceed with registration if they have not ticked off that box. And you're entitled to say, I will not sign until I've received a copy of the latest audited statements. And what do you see in those statements? You see we have a pretty nice nest egg. We have R1 million or 2 million rand in reserve on a fixed deposit. Or we're actually eating into our reserve. The answer is quite simple. It's not emotion, it's numbers. Then you do not buy there. It's as simple as this, isn't it? Did I answer your question, Edgar? Money talks. Sorry, I'll be with you now. Yes, sir.
In terms of
Your name, just for the...
Marcellus.
Marcellus.
Proceed now, we're talking about capital growth.